Guys, it's so nice to meet you. Big fan of the Baltimorons and happy that it's getting to see the light of day a little bit sooner than most festival films do, which is a pretty big win, I'd say.
Yeah, huge, I think. Feeling excited about it.
I saw your name, Jay, as being involved. I read the description. That's why I wanted to see the film. The title is an interesting one because I know it refers to the routine within the film. Did you have any concern that this might attract the wrong crowds, or more importantly, keep away people who would actually love it, but were like, why would I want to see this kind of film about these Baltimore morons?
100%. I feel like a lot of my movie titles are fun and silly and might turn off some people who want like a hard-hitting story, which I think we also have, but um or attract like hard comedy fans who just want to, watch Dumb and Dumber 17 and are not getting exactly quite that. But it's just really hard to beat the title, The Baltimorons. It is extremely hard to beat it, and it is germane to the film eventually once you figure out what it is.
Well, Michael, what is your experience with stand-up comedy? Is this something that you also avoid desperately because it's as bad for you as drinking?
No, I mean I came up in the sketch comedy and like improv world. And I still do it here and there, but not so much anymore. I just kind of love doing this type of stuff now. And I certainly would have also not named a movie Baltimoreans if I wasn't from Baltimore. They wouldn't appreciate that much. But yeah, once you get there, once you see why it is called Baltimoreans, makes all the sense in the world.
And Liz, how do you feel about going to the dentist? Is that an activity you enjoy?
I have a very intimate relationship with my dentist. Not intimate,
Whoa.
but I go a lot,
You go
a
a
lot.
lot.
Well, you
Wow.
know why? Because I ate so much candy as a kid, and my teeth are just terrible. So I go a lot.
Wait, wait, wait,
I have a
wait.
lot going on with
You
my
ate
dentist.
so much candy as a
Oh,
kid.
I'm sorry. I eat so much candy continually,
Continually now. Nothing stops,
Let's
Liz.
be clear.
but only after
We
midnight.
know things, Liz. We know things.
Only after midnight. Geez, you
Yeah,
stay up late
Only
tonight.
after midnight,
yeah, only after midnight because I can.
scurrying downstairs like a little animal,
Oh no, no,
crawling
no,
through all the
no! I
craft
keep bags
services.
of candy next to my bed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just,
Let's be clear.
no one's scurrying anywhere.
She
No,
It's
also
all
no, no.
set
she
up.
also she
You,
also sleeps with her ear pods in, and every morning she loses her ear pods, which I
Yeah,
find fascinating.
every morning. Every morning. There's somewhere in the bed. You never know. I have a bunch of earpods with only one thing in them. Like I have a bunch of
have you
cases with
ever
only
eaten
one.
an ear pod thinking it was candy?
I could have. I
Yeah.
could have,
Yeah,
and no one will ever know.
no. Mm-mm. There's probably a few ear pods in there right now.
Just waiting to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's easy to see with this dynamic how you came up with such a winning intimate film. But
Oh,
I
that's
feel
nice.
like dentists are rarely the protagonists of films. You're in great company with a movie called Olympic Dreams with Nick Kroll that I really, really enjoyed. But otherwise, I feel
Uh-huh.
like most films play up. It's like a horror comedy, Novocaine, that was that one years ago, that kind of thing. And it's
The Marathon Man.
yeah,
Marathon
I'm
Man, yeah.
curious where this premise for you, Jay and Michael, where this all came from, where this started with stand-up comedy. I can understand a little bit more the dentist part and how that also folded together to this.
I think it was well, the the movie was originated just by me just loving Michael Strassner and being so excited about this incredibly funny and sweet and sensitive man inside the body of a 1978 Chicago Bears linebacker. And his origin story, which is autobiographical. And so that was the beginning of just my brain just starting to think about how would I make a movie with Michael. Um, and then, wait, what was your question?
Dentistry. How did the dentistry
Dentistry.
come into
The
the
dentist part. I had had a story idea in my head for about 15 years about somebody who's on vacation with their family and not getting along with their family. and hitting their face and having to go to an emergency dentist. My mom had to go to an emergency dentist one time when we were on all on vacation. And she had to kind of spend the whole day there because there were a lot of operations that had to happen and we're going to take this out, now we're going to set this, then we're going to put this in, we're going to let that dry. It was like a whole thing. Um, and I thought, well, what if these people had to spend the whole day together and they forged this connection. So that's how those two ideas kind of merged. I don't know how that stuff happens. It just happens.
And luckily for us, my biology teacher from high school is now a dentist and let us use his lovely dental office. uh,
For free.
For
yeah,
free.
location.
Yeah.
I imagine that just feels like going to a place you're not supposed to be and getting to play with everything, but also wanting to be very careful that you're not going to mess anything up, so you don't want to have too much fun.
100%.
But we definitely
Although
had fun
Liz
that
came
day.
out with that needle very
Yeah,
confident.
Listen, I'm telling you, an intimate relationship with that guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know all about the needles, all about everything.
When is your guy gonna see it? Is he aware that you play a dentist in a movie and that it's gonna be premiering in New York on
My guy?
September 5th?
My guy?
Yeah.
Your dentist.
Oh my God, he was so excited. I showed him the trailer and
Yeah.
he was like almost in tears. He was like, "Oh my God, you play a
Oh,
dentist."
that's so sweet.
I know.
He's
I
like, you
know.
made a movie about me.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hopefully, a movie that finally gets the profession right, even if that's just a small part of the film.
Yeah, we did get it right. Like we worked with Michael's teacher quite a
Tom
bit.
Clancy.
Like
Yep.
kept
Yeah.
nudging things back and forth and just because you want it to be true, but you got to move that scene along. So it was like kind of threading a needle to get it just right to where like it held up, dentally speaking, as Michael says in the film. But that it's still a fun scene that makes you want to keep watching.
Talk to me about Baltimore and wanting to involve Baltimore and then actually the process of shooting there.
I mean, the way we talked about it is, you know, like I was saying, we're on the tail end of a pandemic and strikes. And so, you know, to make a tiny movie during COVID, the COVID protocols budget would have been more than the whole movie cost us. So at that point in time, independent film was teetering. And so we were just like, how do we back the truck of this movie up into a place where we can go and everything's there for us? So, Michael, you can talk about it, but I think it starts with like Michael being from Baltimore and also being really close friends with our producer, David Bonnet.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. It was basically we kind of gave Jay a list of like all these locations in Baltimore and sent pictures of places that were open to us and were able to use. And we even like had stuff in there that like we didn't have yet, and like the crab boat where we didn't have one, and Dave was like, "Let me just call this guy," and then sure enough, he's like, "Yeah, you want to use my boat? Come on over." And Kelly, we used his crab boat one night, um, and and that's just kind of I think like the way Baltimore just kind of I feel like we haven't seen it in such a positive light recently, and it was nice to kind of show the beauty of the city, um, you know, throughout our whole movie. Like we're really going all over through Federal Hill and through Fells Point and Hamden with the Christmas tree lane that Jay calls 34th Street. Um, I was just so happy to put these places that I grew up loving into the film.
You think there are things that you would have done differently with more opportunity, less COVID kind of stuff, or this actually worked out perfectly in terms of the intimacy of the film?
Well, I mean, I think the we were post-COVID by the time we shot it, but the main thing that was the limiting factor is like, we really wanted to have this contrast of like kind of dark and scary Baltimore with like Christmas lights just twinkling in the background. And in order to do that at our budget, we had to shoot in Baltimore during the Christmas season. So like that last strike ended in I think mid-November, and we were on the ground December 1, rolling camera in Baltimore, trying to shoot a significant movie in 20 and in 15 days. So, and before Christmas ended and before we got to Christmas, everybody had to go. So that was really like the challenge. We never could have afforded to bring those lights around and light the whole city up in that way. So yeah, it was kind of important, and it was well, getting there at the time. It was definitely like felt like we were a bit rushed, but in
Yeah,
the end,
we wrapped the 23rd.
we did. I mean, we all just like flew home and celebrated Christmas right away.
Yeah.
I think it came out great. And
Thank
I'm
you.
especially as somebody without any particular ties to Baltimore, it's like nice to see a city that I don't particularly recognize, but people seem to. You can tell that there's an admiration from you guys, which is really nice.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, everybody in Baltimore was so great.
They were
I mean,
great,
they
and they
were
were
like,
so pumped. They were so pumped to
oh,
be telling a story in Baltimore about Baltimore because apparently it's just, sort of like, you know, faked for other cities and locations. So,
remember that lady that for some reason we had found the wrong outdoor site that was supposed to be my front door.
Yep.
And you knocked on some random lady's door, and she
Well,
was like,
she had to
"Yeah,
match the door. We had to make sure that the door matched at the last. We didn't want to give anything away, but
yeah.
it had to
yeah."
match. And I saw this woman walking her dog, and I saw where she walked out, and I was like, let me go run down and ask this lady if we can use her house all day long.
And we
And
sat in her house with her all day
Yeah.
long.
yeah,
We
Liz
used it
made a
as
new
a
friend.
green
Like
room. I
truly,
know.
we were like, "Where's Liz?" Oh, she's talking to the door lady.
Yeah.
And her
No,
dog
she's hanging with the door lady. I mean, because
all
we didn't
day,
have a green room. We were just out on the streets of Baltimore all day and all night, freezing our tuchus
freezing.
off.
Yeah, that was like the Baltimore spirit. Was everyone was just really open to helping us, and it was so awesome. And now we get to have a nice premiere there on September 10th, which is sold out audience, and they're so pumped to see it there. So it's
It was
awesome.
Yeah.
so cold. It was so cold when we were shooting that I literally broke open my what are those things called? My hand warmers.
Yeah.
So I had my hands were black because I was squeezing the hand
You were
warmers so
squeezing
much,
the hand warmers so hard. Yeah.
broke
Yeah.
them up. That's never happened in the history of time.
No.
Well, this movie was a lot of fun. What's next for all of you?
I am currently in Toronto on the set of a television show called Sterling Point, which is Megan Parks' TV show follow-up to her hit My Old Ass. So I'm doing that, and I acted in a movie called Other Mommy with Jessica Chastain that's going to premiere, I think, next year. I don't know if I can say when it's going to premiere, but it's kind of exciting.
Liz, you want to go?
I've just been doing theater since we wrapped.
Yeah.
Lots of theater all over the country.
Yeah. I just shot a movie with Rob Lowe and Will Brill, theater guy who was amazing, and Gillian Jacobs called The Musical that's coming out probably next year, and I did another small little independent movie in New York for a very quick time called Tuesdays New York. So we'll see what happens with everything.
Things
But
are
right
about to
now,
change, you guys.
yeah, but right now it's all Baltimoreans all day, baby.
Yeah. Well, it sounds really great. I wish you plenty of luck. Thank you so much for a really fun conversation.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Abe.
Thanks.
Appreciate you.